Welcome to Exhale Yoga and Wellness. I'm Alicia Ray. Today is a super special class, kind of cheeky, a little fun, but also very important. It's our period flow. So what do you do if you're on your cycle, but you do want movement? And a lot of us maybe don't even realize that there's certain poses that help to benefit us and create a little bit more healing and balance for a healthy cycle, and some postures that maybe we should be avoiding during this time. So especially in the first few days of your period, this is important to be aware of. So join me on your mat for a special healing flow. And if you do have a pillow, a bolster, or a big blanket that you can roll up, that'll be really nice and nourishing for the practice as well. You will still go to workout in this 45-minute flow. You'll feel a lot healthier, happier, and balanced after this movement. So join me on your mat. All right, let's begin. So when we're on our cycle, we can often feel a lot of different symptoms, from tired, feeling fatigued, maybe feeling a little bloated, nauseous. And sometimes it's really hard to be motivated to get up and create movement, but movement is so beneficial and valuable for this time. Especially we want to feel that downward energy just to help support the flow and the cleanliness and the detoxification of the body. This is such a beautiful practice for us as women. It's something that we should be honoring and respecting and not feel bad about. So know that you can absolutely support yourself mentally and physically, as well as emotionally, with yoga during your cycle. The first few days are especially most important. So in this 45-minute movement, we are here to help support us feeling good, looking good, and finding balance. So we're going to start with a supported child's pose. So if you have your pillow, your blanket, or your bolster, go ahead and grab that. And for your child's pose, take your toes to touch, your knees wide apart, and take a moment to set your prop up here in front of you. I also just want to point out, wearing comfortable clothing during this time is really helpful as well. I know sometimes that critical mind turns on and we look at ourselves in the mirror and maybe we don't like what we see, and just know that that's all artificial thoughts based off of our emotions, and our emotions are not who we are. So dress comfortably. I'm wearing some of my favorite joggers from Athleta. They have the high-waisted band, which is really great for this time when you might be feeling a little bit bloated or uncomfortable. So clothing that helps you feel good about yourself but can help you with movement, stretching, and breathing. So from here, let's go ahead and enjoy some comfort, coming into a supported child's pose, resting your torso over your prop, and you can either gaze to one side or the other, or if your prop allows you to, go ahead and tuck your chin into your throat and bring your forehead down onto your prop. We'll just take a couple moments here to rest and digest. Spend some time bringing in some positive thoughts into your body, into your breath. Anytime you feel that critical mind turn on and we're creating judgment and criticism, deepen your exhale and let that energy go. It's not yours, it's not your truth. It's just your emotions taking over for a moment. Start to bring in positive mantras with each inhale, thinking about something that you're really good at, that you can be excited about, that you respect yourself for. This is not being egotistical. This is you truly honoring the amazing energy that you are. Now, if you wanted to spend the full 45 minutes here just hugging onto your prop, listen to your body, listen to your intention. Movement is movement, whether it's slow or fast. And typically in this particular sequence, we'll want to have movement that really nourishes. So we are going to move a little bit slower, hold the postures a little bit longer. You'll burn calories, you might even sweat a little bit. Will help support your body's process during your cycle. And take one more deep breath in. Big cleansing exhale, let everything go. And slowly lift yourself up from your prop if you're ready to move on. And know that you can come back to this at any time. If you're feeling a little discomfort and you need to press pause, honor that. Listen to your body. Your body is wise, so come into that wisdom and adjust as you need. So from our child's pose, we're going to take tabletop. Knees underneath your hips, palms underneath your elbows, elbows right underneath your shoulders. Grip your mat with your fingertip pads, kind of like a tiger paw. We'll just take some nice cat-cow movements here. So lower the belly, tilt the pelvic floor down, lift the chest, pull the heart through, shoulders back. Chin to your throat, round and curl, pull your navel up and in. So try not to be too aggressive with this movement, just slow circulatory inhales and exhales as you lift and lower. Creating some circulation and moving energy up from your low back to your mid back, upper back, preparing your body for movement. Child's pose is such a great posture for our cycle. It really helps the body to come into balance and alignment and homeostasis. So we'll take it on quite a bit during this sequence. We'll pause on our tabletop here. So we don't want to do a lot of active core work, especially crunches. We want to try to minimize how many twists we do as well. Again, we just don't want to add a lot of pressure or intense energy into the body. So very mindful movement. From here, we're gonna just let the belly drop a little bit as you exhale. And then on the inhale, you're pulling the navel up and in, and then you'll feel how your tailbone naturally starts to tuck down. And then as you exhale, let the belly drop naturally, the pelvic floor spills forward, and then pull the navel up and in, and the tailbone naturally tucks. Just feel that one more time. Let the belly go, disengage for a moment. Re-engage, hug, navel up and in. And then soften to a neutral spine. Take a breath in here. Walk the palm an inch or two forward. Tuck your toes behind you. We'll lift right into downward facing dog. Take a few moments to pedal the feet up and down, just stretch out. Again, this is all about feeling good, and if it feels better for you to just be in tabletop today and not fully inverted, we don't want to be upside down a lot when we're on our cycle, that's okay. Come into any variation or shape that you need that supports you. Take a nice deep breath in here, and then walk the hands and feet together towards one another, middle of the mat perhaps. We'll take a nice gentle forward fold. So sitting up just a little bit in terms of the knees being bent and the heart lifted slightly, and then melt your chest over your thighs, relax your head below your heart. You can cross your arms and rest your forehead on your forearms, creating a nice little pillow. Relax any tension away from your head, your neck, your shoulders, and your face. And then slowly release your fingertips towards the earth. Let your head fall below your heart. Connect your fingers to the tops of your feet and keep that connection as you slowly rise. Take your time. Super slow-mo. Head is still hanging. And that will be the last part of your body to lift. So roll the shoulders up and then down onto your back and slowly lift your head over your heart. And we'll just take a couple more of those movements through the shoulders. And then inhale, mountain pose, rise up into your day. Take a moment here to turn the pinky fingers back slightly. Feel your tailbone draw down and the navel pulls back. So you're getting a little bit of that pelvic floor tuck to the back of the room. Lift up, stretch, breathe, and just a nice little lat stretch. So turn the palms forward, bend the elbows. Think about trying to lift your head up to the ceiling in opposition. Do that 2 more times. Inhale, reach. Exhale, stretch. Inhale, reach. Exhale, stretch. Rise back up to your mountain pose. Exhale, hands at your heart. Hinging at your hips, fold forward, bow, head below the heart. Connect palms to your shins, take a halfway lift, lengthen the spine, look down towards the earth. Exhale, simple fold, bow, head below heart. Let's rise back up super slow. So let your arms hang like wet noodles. Tuck your chin into your throat. Push down through your heels so you're active through the hamstrings. Feel your tailbone drawing down as you pull your navel up and in. And again, that slow, methodical rise up to standing. Let the shoulders roll onto the back. Lift your head over your heart. Inhale, mountain pose. Changing up the movement a little bit. Exhale, over to the right and take a nice side body stretch. Inhale brings you back to center, shoulders on the back. Exhale, up and over to the left. We're gonna do that 2 more times each side. Just flowing with your breath. Keep the heart turned up towards the ceiling. Keep shoulders on your back and space between the bottom of your ears and the tops of your shoulders. Last one each side. And then back up to center. Take a nice deep breath in. Release your steeple grip if you had it. Inhale, look up, reach up. This time, exhale, open the arms. We swan dive all the way down to the earth. Halfway lift, hands back to the shins. Lengthen. Exhale, simple fold. We'll do one more sun egg. Tuck your chin into your throat, super slow. Bend the knees. Kind of take your time, extra time rather, to roll up. Super slow-mo. Shoulders back. And this time, turn the palms to face forward. Standing Shavasana. If you haven't already set a particular intention for your practice, now is a good time to close the eyes, to draw your focus inward. Simple breath in and a simple breath out. If you don't have a particular intention, then take this opportunity again to honor something about you. There's only one of you, and the best thing you can do right now in this world is be your most authentic self. So honoring all that you are, all that you have to give, and don't let that critical mind hold you back from being who you are. This is such a beautiful flow to honor yourself today. Blink the eyes open. Inhale, reach the arms up. Let's take a vertical twist to the right. So remember, we just want to do gentle twisting. The hips stay square, facing forward. You're just twisting from the belly button up. Lower the arm behind you. Inhale, full circle, come up. Exhale, over to the left, other side. Take a moment, breathe in. Hips are square, forward. Exhale, finish that circle. Breath in here. And then exhale, open up, swan dive. Once again, this time take hands behind you. Create one fist at the low back. Bend your elbows, draw your shoulders back. Tailbone draws down. Weight is in the heels. Maybe lift the toes and lean back just a little bit. Breathe in. And then exhale, we'll take this into a chest expansion. Pull the navel up and in. One fist away from your low back. Draw the knuckles up to the sky. Drop your head below your heart. And then release your bind. Back into your forward fold. Take a halfway lift to reset. Breathe in. Exhale, release to the mat. Touch the mat. Tuck and curl into a little ball here. And then we're going to come back into our child's pose. So toes touch, knees wide. You can use your bolster, your prop again, or just come right into it without it. Lower your forehead to the earth. A slight tuck of your chin into your throat. Feel the heels of your hands press against your mat. Go ahead and let your third eye touch the floor. As you feel the connection of your hands in the mat, push into the heel of your palms a little bit to guide your hips back onto your heels. Bend your elbows and bring your hands behind the nape of your neck. Feel that connection of any new space that you're breathing into. Stretch around the arms, the chest, the shoulders, the back of the neck. And then release. Let's thread the needle in our child's pose. So walk the hands in just a little bit. We'll take the left arm up to the sky as you inhale, stretch. Exhale, hook it underneath your right arm. Palm flips up and then come on down to the mat. Gaze out to the right. And bring your right fingertips to the top corner of the mat like you're placing them over a little suction cup. Press into the fingertip pads. Now the idea here is to feel more of the stretch in the left side and the left shoulder. So let your arm relax. You can even rest your right palm at your low back. This can sometimes feel really, really nourishing. You can bring a little weighted blanket onto your back and hold on to this pose for a little longer if you want. You have your hand on your low back. Take the heel of your hand towards your tailbone, like you're trying to stretch it towards the back of your mat. Then release. Let's take the other side. Slow lift onto the palms. Bring the palms in slightly. Inhale, just stretch the right arm up. Exhale, hook under into ready the needle. Gaze to your left. You can start by stretching left fingertips to the corner of the mat. Releasing the back of your hand to your low back, or the heel of your hand to lengthen the tailbone back. Bring your breath into the right side of your body, feeling the stretch in the tricep perhaps, outer shoulder. New breath coming into the body. And then slow release. Bring yourself back up. Bring the knees in. Sit your hips over your heels. Tuck your toes. Walk your hands an inch or two out in front of you. Use your core to help lift you up into your downward facing dog. And then find another stretch in your down dog. Deep breath in. Deeper breath out. Sit the hips back, take a nice inhale, lift the right leg up and back, and then exhale into a low lunge. Take a moment here, bring your back knee down. You can stay low, activating fingertips to the mat here and pulling the shoulder heads back, or you can bring your palms up to your front thigh. Take a moment to check in with shoulders. Sometimes what can happen here, especially when we're feeling a little, perhaps some bloating energy, or we feel a little crampy, we might feel like we want to hug into the body because that's safe and protecting, and absolutely, do that because it feels good. But let's also see if we can just create a little bit more breath, a little bit more opening by rolling the shoulders back and pressing the heel of your hands on your front thigh. So this is a great way to help open the hips. The hips hold a lot of emotion and stress that really your body is trying to purge. So this is a great time to just let that all go. Take a nice inhale here. You can stay here, or on the exhale, fingertips to the mat, and shift your right leg, your right hip back as you straighten the right leg. And then you can take your thumb to your right hip crease and help to guide the hip down and back a little bit. Pull the heart through, shoulder heads back. Breathe. Take the right hand outside of the right side of your mat. Lift the left arm up and over to the right. Sass your hips left. Change sides, right hand down, or left hand down, right arm up and over, sass the hips to the right, and then come back down, both hands to the mat, untuck your back toes, sit to the inside of your left foot. It's a little awkward to get there, so just give yourself a moment. And as you're settling in, we're sitting a little bit crooked. Curl your right toes in towards your shin. Just sit here a moment, stretching into the shin bone of the left leg, opening up the hips a little bit more. Inhale, right arm high, up and over. Fingertips to the floor. Roll this right shoulder back, and then just extend the left arm out. If it feels okay, try a bind by bending the right knee. Reach to the outside of the pinky toe edge of your foot, and then you can kick the heel out. Gentle twist. Release. You can also do a gentle twist this way. Release. Come to center, breath in. Exhale, come out of this by crawling forward, tucking your back toes into the mat, come into a low lunge. Back leg straight and strong, root to rise from the earth, come into a crescent lunge. Deep breath in. Settle in here. You can goalpost the arms, lean back a little bit. You can also just hold the pose with hands at your heart. So focusing on balance here, back heel is lifted, left hip bone forward slightly, right hip bone back. Breathe in, breathe out. Inhale, reach back up to crescent lunge, full expression. Exhale, airplane torso. Stay right here, roll the shoulders back, lift the heart, or option to go into full Dakasana balance. So balancing is really grounding. It's very slow moving, nourishing, but it builds a lot of strength and focus. Hug and squeeze inner thighs in. Reach up through your triceps. Exhale, slowly release back to standing. Toes touch. Inhale, reach up, mountain pose. Exhale, hands through heart, bend the knees a lot as you come into a forward fold. Drop the head below your heart, take a halfway lift, breath in. Exhale, palms to the mat, step right foot back, step left foot back, high plank. Lower your knees, dip your chest down to the mat, untuck your toes as you settle your body onto the earth. Exhale here, tops of the feet down. Inhale, cobra pose. Exhale, surrender to the earth. We'll do that 2 more times. Tuck your chin into your throat a little bit. Inhale, little to no weight in the hands. Exhale, back down. 1 more time. Inhale, lift. Exhale, back down. Tuck the toes back into the mat. Slide your palms a little closer to your rib bones, elbows like grasshopper legs. Push your thighs down into the mat. Push your palms into the mat, lift, reverse. And then downward facing dog, lift your hips up and back. So stretch into that for a moment and then reposition on the mat. Take a nice deep breath in. And deep breath out, relax your head and your neck. 1 more, fill up here. Inhale, if you need a moment, tabletop. You can always lower to your knees as you take a couple sips of breath. Next breath, let's lift the left leg up and back, inhale. Step through low lunge on your exhale. So starting off low, back knee can come down. Maybe lift to the tips of your fingers. Stay right here, shoulder heads back, or bring your palms to your front thigh. Interlace the hands. So sending the heel of the hands to the top of the thigh. Tailbone descending, creating a little bit of space in this front hip crease. Sitting tall, opening up. Just finding the breath working its way into your body, into any tightness or discomfort. Letting that all go with each exhale. You can always be here, hands on your front thigh or fingertips down, or move along into half splits prep or Ardha Hanumanasana, straighten the front leg. Thumb to hip crease to pull the hip back a little bit. Active in the fingertips so we can take pressure off of this knee, creating some stability. You don't want to dump into the knee. And then pull the heart through, shoulders back, stretch, breathe. And let's find a little bit of that movement again. Left hand, left side of the mat. Inhale, right arm up, over, sass your hips to the right, and then change, right hand, right side, left arm up and over, sass your hips to the left. And then back, drop in a little bit more. Stay here, untuck the toes. If you want to move on, sit to the inside of your right leg, right foot. You're getting a nice stretch the top of the right foot. And then curl left toes in towards your shins, sit tall. Pull the navel back, tailbone down, sit bones down. And then a gentle twist here, just lifting the left arm up and over behind you. Fingertips press into the floor, roll the shoulder back. And just simply take your hand outside the leg. You don't even have to do that, you can just look forward. Or grab onto the outside of your foot, kick the heel forward, a little bit of a twist. This is probably as deep of a twist as we would want to experience in a flow class, just because we don't want to add a lot of intense detoxing pressure to the body. We want things to flow naturally. And then come to center as you release your variations. Crawl forward to release this stretch. Active fingertips, tuck back toes into the mat. Stretch your right leg, let it breathe. Root to rise, push away from the earth, come into your crescent lunge. Now remember, you can always bring hands to your hips here, hands to heart, or full expression, turning pinky fingers back, and finding a couple moments just to stretch into this pose and establish balance. Scissoring inner thighs, focus your gaze, be steady here. If you're feeling a little wobbly, your balance is a little bit more challenged during your cycle. There's a lot happening, a lot going on, so have some kindness for yourself. You're accomplishing a lot during this time of the cycle. It definitely doesn't make things easier, so notice the challenge, embrace it. And then exhale, airplane torso. As you roll the shoulders back, the chest lifts up slightly. You're shifting this hip back a little bit, finding a little bit of juiciness in this lunge, or you're taking on full Dhalkasana, balancing on the left leg. Activating some focus through the balance. Scissoring inner thighs in, whether your foot is lifted or not. Chest is lifted, breathe. Gaze is slightly down. And then we slowly come to standing. Toes touch, feet to the earth, hands to the sky. Mountain pose, inhale. Exhale, bend the knees a lot, forward fold. We're gonna do that a couple more times. Inhale, slow roll up, inhale, mountain. Exhale, fold, bend the knees first. One more time, inhale. Bend the knees, drop, exhale. Halfway lift, breath in. This time, step the left foot back first, right foot back, take high plank pose, breathe in, lower the knees, lower your chest gently, take a moment to deflate onto the mat. We'll take on a gentle heart opening, locust pose, interlace hands behind you. We already had that bind earlier, so we're building from there. Roll shoulders back. Exhale everything out, hip bones down, pubic bone down. Lift the thighs, lift the chest, breathe. Now you can take your knuckles away from your tailbone and maybe even lift them up and back at the same time. That intensifies the chest opening and the shoulder stretch. If your feet aren't able to lift off the mat, that's okay. Float them up as much as you can. One more breath. Exhale, release.
Tuck your chin into your throat, forehead down, hands behind the back of the head. So we're getting a nice stretch in the back of the neck. Release.
We're gonna come into Sphinx pose next. So prop yourself up onto your forearms. Roll the weight into the toe mount. So notice how the heels are out here. I'm rolling my heels in center and pressing through the toe knuckle. Pull the chest through, shoulders down, top of your head to the sky. And then just a gentle lift from below the belly button. Now bring some energy into the palms and the forearms. Turn the palms out to the top corners of your mat. A little lift. Bend the elbows as much as needed. If you feel pinching in the low back, try moving your feet a little further away or closer together, or bend the elbows. Make this accessible. Pull the chest through, shoulders back. Slowly release. We're gonna move into flapping fish pose next. So go ahead and bend the left elbow and the left knee towards one another. Palm is down, and then right palm flips up underneath you, behind you. Gaze is to the left. So everything is to the left here. Left elbow, left knee, gaze is left. And then you just flip your right palm under. And take a moment to drop into the earth here. This is a very gentle, detoxifying twist. Very soothing for the body, balancing the blood flow and circulation from one side to the other. And then slowly straighten the leg. Before we move to flapping fish pose on the other side, go ahead and roll onto your right hip. Rest your head into your hand. We'll take a moment here. Top leg is going to extend out in front of you. Your toes are pointing towards your forehead. Bottom knee, bend it, grab onto your foot, cat pulling tail pose. So I have the big toe side of my foot behind me. From here, you can start to lower your arm and your head, or drop your top shoulder back. Relax your head to the earth. Keep kicking your foot into your hand and keep stretching this extended leg towards the top of your mat. So big hip opener, quad opener. This can be an intense stretch, so take a moment if you're noticing any emotions starting to bubble up. Let those emotions out. Just exhale them out through the mouth. Don't hold them back in anymore. They're just gonna turn into cramps and bloating and nausea and fatigue, so we just need to let that energy out, let it purge, let it go, let it flow. Slowly come back to center, realign your body. Take a moment to prop yourself back up into Sphinx pose as a reset. And then we'll take the other side. So flapping fish pose, right knee, right elbow. Left palm flips up, gaze is to the right. Drop in, relax your face. Let your whole body start to slow down and soothe. Notice your breathing, the movement, the natural movement of your body with your breath. Take a couple more breaths here. I'm going to reposition myself on my mat so I can demonstrate cat pulling tail pose for you again. And start to bring your body back into center, and let's roll onto the left hip. Rest your head into your hand. Take your top leg, extend it out in front of you. Knees bend as much as they need. Bottom leg, bend the knee, grab onto the foot, start there. Decide if you want to relax your head down. Decide if you want to drop this top shoulder back. Stay active in the stretch, so keep kicking this foot against your hand. Keep reaching this extended leg forward, and then deep breath in and out of the body. Slowly release. Let's come back to the belly one more time. Set yourself up for Sphinx pose. You could stay right here in Sphinx. If you're feeling like you want a little bit more energy, perhaps a little bit more opening through the body, and it feels okay for you, If you're not in a heavy flow, then you can definitely move on to floor bow, bend the knees, reach back behind you for your feet. Exhale everything out. Just a little lift, not a big lift. Lifting the heels, lifting the chest. Let your belly just drop into the earth. And exhale, release. Tuck the toes, find your grasshopper arms, push away from the earth, walk the knees in, tabletop pose. Tuck the toes, lift the hips up and back, downward facing dog. Take a moment here to settle in and allow your body to just stretch in, breathe in, and then let go on the exhales. All right, so on this next breath, you can just slowly walk or step forward, top of space, middle of space. Take a halfway lift as you breathe in. Exhale into the deep forward fold. Inhale, rise, reset into another mountain pose. Inhale. Exhale, release your arms. Roll the shoulders up and down the back a few times. Coming into a balancing pose. So ground down into your left leg. Bend your right knee in line with the right hip crease here. And then crisscross for figure four. Sit down and back. So this is a nice hip opener. Again, a great opportunity to release any energy that's stagnant, that no longer serves. You want to feel energy moving back rather than forward, so bend the knee more to sit down. Wrap your peace fingers around your big toe, knee to the outside of your arm. So now we're adding on to that balance. If this doesn't work for you, let go of the bind. You can be right here, one leg mountain. If it feels okay to try it on, kick the heel forward, stretch a little bit, big toe stand. Feels okay? Kick it out to the side. Challenging your balance. Come through center and then let's take on tree pose. Your foot above or below your knee, or like a little kickstand at your ankle, hands to heart. Balance here for a few breaths. Take a moment to just let your body realign itself, feeling that descending energy, a natural rhythm of the body flowing, releasing, surrendering. And then come to standing and we'll change sides. So bend left knee or move to the other leg. Cross for figure four. Start to sit down. It's okay if you're not able to find some depth today. You can stay upright like this. And then eventually, hinging at the hips, sitting down and back. Come into the other side. And as we're in a space where we feel really tender, we feel a lot more sensitive to our emotions and our surroundings, these poses can suddenly feel more intense, especially if you have a regular yoga practice, or maybe you're noticing some limitations today. Don't think of them as limitations. Think of them as your body being really intelligent and knowing where it should and shouldn't go today. Perhaps you find a little bit more depth or you're backing out. Let's find our wrap with peace fingers around big toe. Slowly come up to standing. You don't have to have the bind. Remember, you can always let that go. In fact, this is what it would look like without the bind. Knee in line with hip crease. And you would just kick the heel out, utilizing a lot of core focus and strength. And then you would kick the heel out. So this is also a really great variation to what we just did on the other side. And then coming into tree pose. Your foot high or low or at your ankle. Hands to heart. And then here we find the rhythm of the breath, the realigning of balance, homeostasis. Remember, the theme of this practice is nourishment and appreciation for yourself, turning off that critical mind, and then come back to center. Take a moment, hands at your heart, bow your chin to your chest, close your eyes here, breathe in, breathe out. Let's remove some obstacles from our path today. Bring your head back over your heart, standing confidently. Bring the palms together, one on top of the other, one thumb up, one thumb down. And then as you slide your hands away from one another, you grip the fingers, wrap, and it's like you're trying to pull them apart. Standing confidently, this helps to remove obstacles from your path, helps you face fears. It lets you come into the first chakra, basic needs being met here. Remember, this is all about less is more. In this space of you have what you need. And then let's change that. Opposite thumb up, opposite thumb down, hook. Try to remove those obstacles from your path. Sometimes it's just about trying. Every day show up. You're showing up big for yourself today. And then release. Inhale, mountain pose. Exhale, hands at the heart. Hinge, slowly fold, bend the knees a lot. Drop your head below your heart. Take a halfway lift, breath in. Let's step the left foot back into a low lunge. Back heel's gonna come down this time when we open up warrior two. Breathe in. Exhale, extended side angle, breathe out. Stay here on the inhale. Stay here on the exhale. Reverse warrior, breathe in. Stay here on the out. Inhale here. Back to extended side angle as we exhale. And we're gonna flow this movement with breath. Just nice moving energy. You can move as fast or as slow as you'd like here. Couple more breaths. I'm just feeling some nice energy shift with the side bodies. And then let's pause and balance right back into our warrior two. Take your gaze forward over your front middle finger. Hug the shoulders in. Lift tall through the chest. Breathe in. Exhale, windmill down, back into our low lunge. Step the left foot to meet the right. Step the right foot back, and we take on the other side. Back heels down, opening up to that warrior two on the inhale. Right into extended side angle, so you see me reach forward, open up. Stay here for the inhale, bring the shoulder heads back. On the exhale, twist, right belly button up a little bit more, right side of your belly up. Inhale, reverse warrior, shoulders right over the hips. Stay here, exhale, deepen into the lunge. We breathe in here, right back into it. Exhale, inhale. Exhale, inhale. This is you in the moment, focusing only on you. You deserve it. Letting go of everything else. And then let's pause in our warrior two, realign, focus your gaze, hug into midline. You're strong. Think of all that your body goes through every 28 days. It's an amazing process. Let's honor it. Exhale, down to the mat. Back foot meets the front foot. We take our halfway lift, breathe in. Exhale into a little ball, tuck and curl, lift the heels, pull your chin into your throat, squeeze your legs with your arms. You don't have to come into a tight, tight ball. Release back into a forward fold, relax your head and your neck. Take a halfway lift, breathe in. We step the left foot back, breathe out. Back heel down, open up, back into our warrior two on the inhale. Just one time, exhale, extended side. Inhale, reverse. We're gonna add on to the flow. Exhale, back to warrior two. Straighten your front leg, don't lock the knee, let there be a little bend. And then reverse up and back. Gaze down towards your back toe. Gaze up towards the ceiling. Back down towards your back toe. Back up towards the ceiling. And then let's move into full Trikonasana triangle. Reach, reach, reach. Release your hands to 6 and 12 o'clock. So spread fingers wide, shoulders back, heart forward. Lots of core work here, so creating stability to feel this expansion. And then rise up to star pose. Let's turn the toes in for a moment, toe heel in just a little bit. And then bring the hands to the heart, heels in, toes out, drop into horse. So one more big hip opening moment before we start to cool down, soothe, and surrender. So a little rocking side to side. Anything that feels good to you right now that helps you to release any tension, any stuck feelings. Just creating some nice fluidity. And then let's do a little bit of up and down movement. This can feel intense, so remember, just check in with your truth today. This is not about pushing yourself or punishing yourself. This is about honoring you. You're doing the movement. Your body's going through a big cleansing process. Breathe in. Breathe out. Rise up to our star pose. Bring the feet in parallel. Remember, we don't want to invert a lot. We're gonna take a little Prasarita Padottanasana here. Relax head below your heart. Just take a couple moments to shake head up and down, side to side. And then we're gonna crawl through to our low lunge here. Toe heel the right foot all the way out, runner's lunge. Come on to your fist if you want, or bring back knee down. Just take a moment to help open up through the hip and thigh a little bit more. All right, if back knee is down, tuck back toes, flatten palms to the mat, step forward, left foot's gonna step forward into a full squat, frog pose, hips drop, hands heart. Breathe here. I know it's intense, especially when you're on your cycle. It feels a lot more intense. So let your body just take this opportunity to feel that dissension. We're encouraging a healthy flow this way, letting the body do what it's designed to do. And then we'll release, hands to the earth, lift your hips, give yourself a moment to acknowledge any tenderness, drop the head, reset with a halfway lift, breath in, and exhale, we're gonna step right foot back, coming back into the flow, back heel down. Inhale, open up, warrior two. Exhale, extended side angle. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, back to warrior two. Pause, we straighten this front leg, don't lock the knee. Let's take a reverse. Shift your gaze down towards your back foot. If the toes are turning out, right, you wanna hook the toes back in. And then shift the gaze up slow. And then back down. And then back up into full triangle trikonasana. Reach, reach, reach. Open yourself up. Stacking the hips, stacking the shoulders, stacking your palms. Feeling all the different lines of energy as you work to find a little twist, turning your heart up towards the sky. And take a moment to decongest the neck. So if you need to let the head drop or turn the gaze down, that's totally fine. Breathe in and breathe out. Starting to release, big movement up to our star pose. So just take a moment to turn the toes in parallel. Toe heel the feet in a little bit. Inhale, rise up. I'm gonna turn to face you all. Exhale, drop it to our horse. And then just a little mandala. We inhale, straighten the legs, lift up tall. Exhale, sink in a little bit deeper. Close the eyes, opening up to what you need and deserve. Exhale to pull it in closer to you. One more time, breathe in to receive. And exhale to release. Rise back up to star. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale here, exhale down to the mat. And let's take on our runner's lunge on this side. So we came into this side a little different. And just because I didn't want us to invert too much more. And then breathe into the left side. And our transition on this side is going to be a little bit different, so come back onto your palms and lift your back knee. Swivel your left knee around to your left wrist. I'd like us to come into half pigeon on the left side first. Go ahead and lengthen your right leg behind you. Untuck the toes if that feels better, but make sure that you're rolling the heel in. You can look over your right shoulder, that helps pull the hip back. You can stay up here, you can come down to your prop, that feels more comforting. Bring yourself back into a nourishing hug with your pillow or your blanket, or maybe just come down to forearms. And this is you releasing, surrendering what no longer serves around the hips and the thighs. As you're on the left side first, you're coming into an energy to receive. So just allow yourself to receive the benefits of this movement, this practice, the benefits of you having a cycle. We get to process so many things and start fresh every 28 days. What a gift. No, it's typical in our society for this to seem like a negative, a stressor. There's a lot of misunderstood energy around our feminine cycle. All right, and again, in the practice of yoga, this should be about nourishing slow movement that helps with the natural descending energy. So minimizing aggressive movement, minimizing twist, being upside down a lot. All right, and then from this side, come back onto your palms, tuck your back toes, maybe bring the back knee forward a little bit, step back into a plank, reset into a down dog, and we'll just bring the right knee to the right wrist and get half pigeon on the other side. Untuck the toes, look over your left shoulder, pull that hip back, maybe stay up or come down. I'm gonna switch on my mat here so I can demonstrate. If you would like to just do some variations, maybe for next time, or just to find a little bit of balance, you can walk your palms a little closer to you and come onto your fingertips and lift into a bit of a back bend. That might feel really good. Remember, we still want energy to come down, so we don't want to do a lot of upward energy, right upon energy that's just going to help create things maybe getting a little bit stuck. So downward energy. Think of everything moving down like an elevator moving to the basement. Enjoy a few moments of surrender in your breath. And then slowly, when you feel the balance, from the left side of giving energy to the right side, nope, I said that wrong. Let me rewind. From the left side receiving energy to the right side giving energy. Feeling that balance of giving and receiving. Tuck back toes, bring the knee forward. High plank pose or down dog to reset. And then just simply lower your legs to the mat, cross your ankles, roll onto your back. This is where having your bolster or your block is going to come in handy again. So have it near where you would place your legs in a moment. Scoot forward, hug your knees into your chest, and feeling that descension. So wind removing pose, removing any stagnant air, palms pressed gently upon your shins. We don't want to be super aggressive. Remember, gentle movement. Feel the navel descend down towards your spine. You can take a moment in legs up the wall pose. This is a great posture as well for when we are on our cycle, especially the first few days. Happy baby to get into the hips one more time. Bend the knees outside the rib cage. And then we'll come into our final pose. So finding Shavasana. Bring your bolster, pillow, blanket, your prop underneath your knees. Bring the soles of your feet together. Knees bend out. So reclined bound angle pose, Supta Baddha Konasana with a little support. This is so yummy for your hips. Now, if you happen to have two props, two pillows, two blankets, then you could bring them on either side of the legs instead. And then hand to belly, hand to heart. And this is where we are going to take a few moments to rest and digest, letting the nervous system balance itself out. Taking a moment to just allow that energy of nourishment, recovery, refreshing energy come in. And each exhale, surrendering, releasing, and letting go. Continue to be as you are. Hopefully you're lost in your breath and my voice is no longer a part of where you are, but if it is, continue to stay in this form or shape as long as you can and want. When you are ready to come through to finish the practice, find your way to a comfortable seat. You can roll to the left side. The left side is the moon side, it's the feminine side. Roll to your left side in fetal pose and take a couple breaths there, a few breaths there. In fact, I'm going to show you something really awesome that you can do another time. Let's give yourself a hug in fetal pose. It's probably pretty natural that you find yourself in this shape anyway because it's pretty intuitive. So a big blanket or prop between your thighs, rolling to the left side so you feel that nourishing energy, comforting energy. And then when you're ready, come to a seat. We'll close our practice here together with a final few thoughts and breath, hands at the heart, taking a moment to honor and appreciate who you are and all that you have to offer in this world, being authentically you and owning this space that you're in, owning that when you're down, that means you're going to be up again soon, that when there's darkness, that means there's going to be light again soon. One does not live without the other, and that is why we call it balance. And that's why there's balance in this beautiful cycle we go through every month. Honor and appreciate what you've learned today, what gifts you've given yourself. When you're ready to close your practice, perhaps connect thumbs to third eye center. Exhaling to bring your practice to a close, honoring the love, the light, the peace in ourselves and each other. Namaste.